200 years, the Royal Mews at Buckingham Palace has been one of the finest working stables in existence. The Royal Mews as we know it today was built in the gardens of Buckingham Palace in 1825, initially to provide stabling and carriage houses and later on motorised transport for the royal family. It continues today as a working stable. Although the Royal Mews has been on this site for 200 years, the name Mews goes back to the reign of Richard II. He would keep hawks during their molt in a mews, a building meant for that time when they were no longer hunting. And the name transferred to the royal stables, and it's the name we still use here today. From the 14th century, the British Royal Mews were at the site of what is now Charing Cross and the National Gallery. In 1825, as John Nash was transforming Buckingham House into a palace, he built this new stable quadrangle behind the palace to house the horses closer to the monarch. The new quadrangle cost just over £65,000 and it was initially intended to house 100 horses and the royal carriages. In 1848, Queen Victoria visited the Mews to see daguerreotypes, an early type of photograph, being created. She wrote about what she saw. We went to the stables to see the horses daguerreotyped, which really was curious, particularly to see how badly the horses placed themselves when they had to stand still. The resulting photograph shows a group of Mews staff gathered around a Shetland pony. He was called Webster and he was the favourite pony of Queen Victoria's fourth son, Prince Alfred. The Mews was and still is a living community, with generations of palace staff and their families still living on site. Queen Victoria set up a school here in 1855 and an 1870s school inspector report reported that the children were carefully taught and passed their examinations very creditably. The Royal Mews today is home to two particular types of horses, the Windsor Greys with their lighter coats and the Bays with their dark brown and black coats. The Windsor Greys were named after a group of grey horses that were kept at Windsor in the late 19th and early 20th centuries. Mostly bred in Ireland, they're selected for their colour, their size and most importantly their temperament when pulling the carriages. During Queen Victoria's reign, they were mostly kept at Windsor, hence their name. The darker coloured horses at the Mews are Bays, brown with a black mane and tail and black lower legs. Most of them have Cleveland Bay bloodlines, and that's a rare breed now in England. Particularly chosen for their stamina, the breed originated in the north of England in the medieval period, meant for taking heavy loads across the Pennines. The Greys are usually used to convey the sovereign, and the Bays for other members of the royal family, important diplomats and other visitors. As well as being a working stable, the Mews houses the historic and modern carriages belonging to the royal family, including the Gold State coach behind me, the oldest carriage in the Royal Mews. It's been used at every coronation since that of William IV in 1831, most recently in 2023 for the coronation of His Majesty the King. In 1901, King Edward VII acceded to the throne and he brought the first motor cars to the Royal Mews. The staff said that his first car, a Daimler, was a noisy and evil-smelling apparition. Queen Victoria had previously not allowed motor cars into the Royal Mews, telling the Crown Equerry to never allow any of those horrible machines to be used in my stables. In 1916, during the First World War, King George V and Queen Mary held a tea party for soldiers here at the Mews. Queen Mary wrote about it. They had tea first in the coach houses, members of our family presiding at each table and being helped by the ladies and gentlemen of our household and various friends of ours. The entertainments consisted of various artists, acrobats, conjurers, etc., an excellent choir singing songs, of which the men knew the choruses and sang them most lustily. During the Second World War, the horses and carriages were sent away from the Mews for their safety. The Gold State coach was sent to Mentmore Towers in Buckinghamshire. The bomb that flattened the chapel beside Buckingham Palace also blasted the Mews, and it suffered some structural damage. Today, the Royal Mews welcomes hundreds of thousands of visitors each year, giving them a behind-the-scenes glimpse into a royal household department, one of the finest working stables in existence. Queen Elizabeth II described the Royal Mews as a small village which belongs to Buckingham Palace, and today it continues as such, providing transport for the King and members of the royal family.